Hi everyone. Hello and good evening. Oh yes, you are welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome to our mentorship program. Who do we have here? Are we ready for tonight? Are we set? If you're joining us, you drop a comment. If you're joining us, we drop a comment. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. If you're joining us, you drop a comment. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I can see all of you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I can see every one of you. If you can see us, if you're already here, you go ahead and drop a comment. You can go ahead and drop a comment. Oh, yes. So if you're here, go ahead, drop a comment. Tonight, we are going all out without wasting much time. Yes, it's a mentorship night, and I expect all of you to be available. We're going to be discussing the most important thing about copywriting. We're going to be discussing the most important thing about copywriting, and I want all of you to be here, present, and ready. Are you ready? If you're ready, drop a comment telling me you're ready for tonight, and we go all out. You know how it is, right? You all requested for this, and now we have it. Who is ready? Shall we move? Shall we go on? Shall we go on? All right, if you can see me, if you can hear me, go ahead and drop a comment. We have already spent almost 5 minutes and we've not started. We need to start immediately. We need to start immediately. If you can hear me, drop a comment. I want to be sure that people are here with me. Drop a comment. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Am I audible enough? If you can hear me, you drop a comment and let's be sure that people are here with us. All right, Divine Chinedu, awesome. Thank you for joining us. It's a powerful time with us here. and it's going to be a wonderful night altogether. So, happiness. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you all for joining us. And tonight, we are going straight into a topic. You know, these are our mentorship program week 1, and we all requested for this, and the turnout must not in any way be low. Yes, everybody should come out knowing fully well that this is what you requested for. And I want you to have your writing materials because a lot will be communicated tonight. Just make sure you have your writing materials. And if you have your writing materials, go ahead and type, I have my writing materials. I can see Divine, I can see Nadine, I can see Happiness, I can see all of you. Good one, guys. So if you have your writing material, go ahead and say, I have my writing materials. All right. Rihanna, it's beautiful to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Please, somebody should make an announcement in the group and inform everybody that we have started. You can repost on your status and tell people who want to learn copywriting, those guys that want to learn copywriting, to join you so that they can learn with us tonight. Are you ready to do that? Copy the link, post on your status, and go ahead, invite your friends, let them join us. And yes, yeah, I have my writing materials. Go ahead, you can see that. All right, Rihanna have her writing materials, and Happiness here has her writing materials. All right, Nadine here also have her writing materials. So if that be so, we are set. We are not going to waste more time. We're not waiting for much more people. And so we will move all out. Barnabas, Chinonso, you are welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure. We're moving on ahead, and we are discussing very, very important message. And it's for you who is a copywriter, and I really want you to take note of this. It is very important. That is why I want you to get your writing materials, because I know some of you don't like the idea of rewatching a video once you are done with it the first day. Now, some of you will need to rewatch this very training again, this program that we're hosting now. Some of you will need to watch it over again. And that's because you really need to. Hi, Redeem. Good evening to you. How are you doing? I believe you're fine. So some of you will have to rewatch this video. And that is because it's until you rewatch them that you later understand some of the concepts we are trying to pull here. I hope you're set. Yes. So we are going to be discussing the most important thing in copywriting. When you are writing copy, you know, there are things that are important. There are others that are most important. Do you understand? So we have important and most important. Everything can be important, but there are little things that are very, very important. If you can hear me, I want to be sure this class must be interactive. If you can hear me, go ahead and drop an emoji. Go ahead and drop an emoji if you can hear me. I want to be sure that I'm not here alone. You know how my classes used to be, very interactive. We put everybody together and we all move along. So yes, there are something that is most important when writing a copy. And those things are the things we are going to be considering tonight. And that's because it will help you become a better copywriter. So if you're here with me, I need someone who will be typing down the points, the bullet points we're going to be getting as we move on ahead. As you hear them, you type them so that people who are not seeing or who are not hearing can type it back, because I'm going to be picking it up and bringing them here on my screen. Yes, so there are most things that are very, very important when you're writing a copy. And when you have to do with writing a copy, the very most important thing you do when writing a copy is, first of all, to ask yourself a question. You have to ask yourself, what problem is your copy solving? Do you understand? Before you write a copy, you need to ask, what problem is your copy solving? By the time you find out the problem that your copy is about to solve, that is you having your human thought first. One of the things that people do is just to go and research without getting answers of what problem the copy they're about to write is going to solve. All right? You need to know what problem your copy is going to solve before you rush for research. So the number one very important thing as a copywriter is to know what problem your copy is going to solve. Did you get that? To know the problem your copy is going to solve is the very first thing you should know as a copywriter. You should be aware of this and very much aware of it. Do you understand? You should know it like you know your name. You should know it like you know your hands. Understand me? Yeah, so you need to understand that everything you're going to do is first of all asking yourself, what problem is your copy going to solve? Now, before you start writing, you need to remember that writing a copy is 80% 80% research and 20% writing. So in most cases, you are not really writing. What I call my copies when I write them is assembling, because if you follow this method I'm about to teach you, you are going to understand that you are not really doing anything writing. So the very first thing you're going to ask yourself is, what problem is your copy solving? Yes, Nadine is here with us and she's putting it down. So what problem is your copy solving? When you are able to know the problem your copy is solving, then you move to number 2, which is research. A lot of people do not do research, and you do not know that the reason why you should do research is for you to know about what other competition you can face while you're trying to get your copy in the faces of people. Do you understand? So there is a way to write a copy. And the first time when you answer the question of what problem your copy is going to solve, then you move to research. Now you already have an answer, then you go and make research and see how to put it and see if people are really going through the problem you are going to solve. Do you understand? You have to check if people are going through the problem. Now, for instance, if you want to write a copy that is meant to reach people who are in a place where there is no water, and you're going to write a copy for them so that they can come and buy water from you, first of all, you need to ask yourself, what problem is this copy going to solve? The problem is going to solve is that it's going to solve the problem of them looking for water always. You are about to solve a problem of people who cannot easily get water, and that is a problem you're about to solve. Now, you do not just go ahead and start putting down copy because you're a copywriter. You need to research truly to be sure that these people you're about to send this copy, because you have a target audience, you need to research and know if these people, they are really in need of water. Are you following me? You need to know if these people, if they are really in need of water. So if you have found out there are some people who need water, you cannot just go ahead and then write copy. Instead of that, you just go ahead and do research. So number 2 is research. And research is very important. Research makes your work very easy for you because you will get ideas. I have told you time without number that when you are writing a copy, one of the best things for you to succeed as a copywriter, the number 2 mindset is modeling. You ethically copy people who have tried this thing and it is working for them. So you need to ethically copy. Feel free doing research, seeing what others have done, and allowing yourself with all the plans you have for that copy before, and then you put it. Once you do your research, you are going to have results. Because when you are done with answering the question of the problem your copy is about to solve, the second thing is research. And when you do your research using Google, using social media, every other place that people are available, you are going to get answers. And once you get answers, it is as good as bringing a way out of a problem. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? Are you hearing me? Are you here with me? I believe you can hear me. I believe you can hear me. Is anything going on in the group? Somebody should update me. I hope no challenge, because most people are not here tonight. I wonder what is wrong with them. Most people are not here tonight. And I'm going to give an assignment as usual. So if they are not, everybody must have to submit the assignment. So is there anything going on in the group? Tell me and let me be sure. So moving on to when you are done with your research, then you have gathered enough information for you to write. So when it comes to the most important things that you need as a copywriter for your copy to really be outstanding, the very first one is, and I repeat, you have to go ahead to answer the question of the problem your copy will solve. And once you're able to get the answer of the problem your copy is going to solve, you go ahead and research to be sure that you really have that answer to be in line with what people are going through. So just like I gave an example earlier, if you are looking forward to write a copy to people who are having lack of water, and you know for sure that people are having lack of water. So the answer to your question is that, okay, you want to write to those who have lack of water. So you need to research, where are they? How many are they? How many are the number you are likely going to get for those who are looking forward to that? By the time you get these two parts done, then everything becomes very easy. That is when you move to writing your copy. So the third thing to consider is headline. Now, it is very important. The third thing to consider is headline, because your headline does 90% of the work. Good. Because your headline determines whether people are going to read or not. And when it comes to headline, listen and listen carefully. When it comes to headline, it must be catchy, and secondly, it must be relatable. What did I say? It must be catchy. That means it is attention grabbing, and it must be another thing, relatable. Now, when I told every one of you to give me headlines, topics, and attention grabbing headlines, I saw some powerful headlines from some of you that I really loved, and it will make someone want to get more information and read. Do you understand? So when it has to do with a headline, it is very important, and that is the number 3. You need to put it down. Really very important. So your headline, it must be attention grabbing, which is very catchy or relatable. Now, you do not want to sound archaic. You do not want to sound out of the world. You do not want people to miss out of your plan. When you are writing, the very first thing you should have in mind is that you are not writing for yourself. So when you are doing your research, you must do your best to have the best relatable headlines possible. Do you understand? Now, when you want to write to business owners, you will not go and be saying things that doesn't relate to business. Questions that can be asked as a business owner is, are you a business owner? Or are you struggling to get more sales in your business? You see, it's relatable, right? So because you have a target audience. So when your headline says, are you struggling to get more sales in your business? Are you a business owner who is not getting results? You see, these headlines, they are very powerful to hook somebody who has been struggling as a business owner. So you do not use headlines that doesn't have anything to do with your target audience. Like now, when you're looking for people who are business owners, you go ahead and write something like, do you want to take water and stay alive? You will see that it doesn't really make sense, right? You will miss the target audience. But if you go all ahead and put out this question of, are you a business owner that is struggling to make more money? Pay attention to this. Do you understand? So once you put that kind of headline, it is actually going to hold people, but you need to make your research and make sure you are getting it right. Do you understand me? Are you following me? Of course, yes. Are you with me? Are you with me? I hope you're understanding what we are saying. And we said that your headline must be relatable and it must be attention grabbing because it does most of the works. If people cannot be, if the attention of people cannot be gotten from the headline, they cannot read the remaining copy. So you must be able to make people want to read because your catchy headline is where it all lies. You must say something that will grab people's attention. And how to practice it is you use it on friends and family, put it in the group and let people see what your skills is all about. Headline is very, very important. If your copy is going to score 100 over 100, then your headline is 80 marks altogether. So because if your headline is not usually catchy, people are not going to read it. So you need to spend much time researching on your headlines. You need to spend much time researching and checking headline and making sure you are getting what it is that you need as far as headline is concerned. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. So moving on to the second one, don't forget we said that headlines must be catchy and must be relatable. You must be saying things people understand. A lot of people want to sound educated. You don't need to sound educated. You just need to sound, as far as you're a copywriter, you must sound simple, very much simple, very much simpler, and make sure people can understand you. Because this copy you are writing is not for you, but for the people who you are looking forward to target. Do not forget, it must be catchy, it must be relatable. And now moving on to number 4, which is the body. Now, the body of your copy is where you try to educate people on what you're trying to make them have. And that is also an important part of writing copy because that's where people will get to learn more about what you're about to give to them. So yes, the fourth one is body. The body. Do you understand? Yes, the body. And now when it comes to body, one of the beautiful things that happens in the body and how to keep people reading once you come to the body is to use storytelling. With storytelling, you can be able to keep people cannot say yes or no. People cannot say they don't believe stories. People cannot say yes or no to stories. They can only believe it or they don't believe it. So you need to maximize the power of your storytelling in that body. That's what can keep people and what can make yours be relatable. Do you understand? So once you are able to keep people reading and it is relatable, they are always going to pay. Do you understand? They will pay attention and then at the end pay money. So you need to, yes, you need to take it serious because that body is where everything happens. That's where you explain the benefit of what you want to offer them, and that is where you explain what they are going to get if they are able to sign up with your training, this and that, blah, 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 and all of that. So you must make sure that everybody who is going to pass through your headline and gets to the body of your copy must have been able to be hooked. What did I say? Must have been able to be hooked. That's attention grabbing. That's your attention grabbing headline, have been able to hold the person, and then you are now passing the information to the person. And now you need to find the best story possible if you want that person to keep reading whatever you are writing. Do you understand me? Whatever you are writing, people must read, and they must read. They enjoy story. The reason why you watch a movie is because of the story behind it. Music videos, story behind it. Dramas, comedy, story behind it. Everything you watch that gives you idea is because of story behind it. We read Bible because a lot of stories are in the Bible. We read Quran, there are a lot of stories. We go to histories. So stories is the only thing that said. Stories help you pass your information without stress. And where you do it is in the body. Once you have done your headline, start with a story most of the time. Do you understand? And pass your benefit. Do you understand me? Yes, I believe you're hearing me quite all right. Yes, of course. So if you are watching this and you're not a student of Copy to Cash Academy, a link will be in the description where you can actually use it to become one of the students who have access to the inner cycle of where we teach copywriting and the mastermind. All right? Yes. And if this is your first time of coming to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and drop a comment that I have subscribed. Immediately you do that, I'm going to send you a gift. I will reply your comment and send you a gift you are going to like. Immediately you do that, sorry. So immediately you do that, drop I have subscribed, and immediately you drop I have subscribed, I'm going to drop a gift for you in the comment. So go ahead, subscribe to this YouTube channel if this is your first time, and once you do that, I'm going to give you a gift you are going to like. All right, so we've been talking about the most important thing in copywriting, and we've been able to do some startups. We talked about you answering the question of what problem is your copy going to solve. That is one. Once you ask that question, you move on to the second one, which says research. You research. The third one is headlines. By the time you come to your headlines, they must be catchy, they must be relatable, and then we move to the body of your copy. And that body of your copy is what we actually make people to listen. So you have to tell a story, all right? You have to tell a story. And by the time you tell a story, it is going to mean that, oh, people will believe you or they don't believe you. So you need to give them the option of going through by a story. Do you understand? So always tell a story. People cannot say yes or no to story, but they can believe it or they don't believe it. So the last one on my list is CTA. And many of you know what CTA is, which is call to action. It is very, very important when you are writing a copy, because after everything you've done without calling people to action, it is going to be waste. Do you understand? Now, when you are calling to action, that is where you are selling or giving people access to whatever you've been talking. So from your headline down to the last part, which is CTA, you must be able to make it simple for people to understand. See, the best copywriter in the world uses the simplest line of sentence. They do not have time for grammatic, all this grammar, and see, you must not sound educated. You don't have to sound educated for you to actually make out a good copy. A lot of you think that you have to be eloquent, you have to be this. The best copywriter uses the best word, because it is not about you, it is about people who want to read that copy. It's about the people who will read that copy. Do you understand me? It's about those who will read the copy. So you need to be very, very, very careful when you are writing. Don't try to go to the dictionary to look for words to sound educated and the rest of that. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Because as a copywriter, the only thing you need to focus your attention on is how you can be able to have a very good attention-grabbing headline. If you have that, you are good to go. Then if people are able to have attention-grabbing headline, they are also going to have a situation where they will be able to read your story. If they read your story and it is very relatable, then you move on ahead to call to action. When you finish telling them your story, making sure your story is related to your product, and you explain to them how it's going to work. Like if I'm going to if I'm going to sell that water to people, I'm just going to tell them a story that is related to how water is very, very important. You can use any story that connects to the emotion of people. You can tell a story of a boy that was running, and he was running all around. He was just in need of something, and the only thing that was able to save him was water. You can talk about the importance of water. You can bring a story of people who died because they didn't drink water when it was needed. Now you can discuss the benefit of water and a lot of things. Do you understand me? So you need to actually go all out and make sure you are not out for jokes. Do you understand? So anytime it happens like this, you need to freely understand that your story must be in line with what you have been telling them. And do not write a headline that will later not be in line with the body. Let your headline not be a clickbait. Let your headline be in synchronization with what you are telling them in your body. And so when you're done with that body, you go ahead and write a CTA, which is buy now, join now, or get access for free right now. All this is a call to action. Do you understand? So call to action is very, very, like, how many very? More than 20 very, very important. Do you understand? So you need to call to action. And with all these things we have listed, I believe you will have it in mind. I'm going to give you an assignment that is related to this. And the assignment I'm going to give you is very relatable. Everybody who is going through this training right now is going to write an assignment using the method we just taught. First of all, you need to ask yourself the question of the copy you want to solve, the problem your copy wants to solve. And then secondly, when you are done, you need to research. Go to Google, go to Facebook, go to other social media platforms and get more info about this very thing you are about to write. Check people who are interested. Check the age range of people who are interested, and you are going to go all out and get on. Do you understand? So once you are done, you go and get a catchy headline still concerning that product. Do you understand? Once you are done, you are going to now use your body, the body of your copy, to tell a story. And in that story, make sure you are explaining benefits upon benefits. Do you understand? Make sure you're explaining benefits upon benefits. So by the time you're done explaining and people now understand what you really do, that is when you call them to action. And by next week, we're going to be discussing many other things that is in line with what you have started already. Remember, is a mentorship program that is happening on a weekly basis. Every Saturday, by God's grace, we are here and we are learning this thing until you become a master. So all you need to do right now is to listen very carefully. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, go ahead and drop yes. Are you here? Can you hear me? Yes, go ahead. If you can hear me, drop a yes, and let me be sure that I'm not talking to myself alone. Are you here? Can you hear me? Yes, go ahead. Oh, yes. This is very, very profound. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we are moving on to our assignment, and that's because I don't really want this session to be that long. I want a situation where you have been able to do so. If you have your question already, go ahead and start asking your question. But do not forget, your assignment is to write a copy selling a bottle of water to a man that lives in a place where snow falls. Do you get the question? Do you get the assignment? Write a copy selling a bottle of water to a man that lives in a place where there is cold. You are selling a bottle of cold water to a man who lives in a land where there is cold. Now, a place where snow falls is usually cold, so I want you to sell a cold bottle water to that man. I want to be able to see how you're going to do your research. I want to be able to see how you're going to answer the question, and I want to be able to see your headlines. And you are all submitting on Wednesday next week, so that I can review it and bring it up here next week, Saturday. So your assignment is a must. You are going to submit it in the group, and I'm going to review it, every one of you. Do you understand me? So yes, you are going to sell a bottle of water, not just water, a bottle of cold water to a person who's living in a land where there is cold, where snow falls. Do you understand? So you know that a man who lives in that place doesn't have any need for cold water, because they're actually looking for what to warm them. So I want to see how you're able to persuade a man who lives in a cold land to buy a bottle of water from you. Once you can do that, then you are set, you are ready. Do you understand? I hope you learned something. I hope this class was educating. I hope you got value. And I believe that if this is your first time of seeing this training, you need to go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss it anytime we come on live session like this, and you can be able to get access information to everything we are doing. I hope you learned something. Yes, go ahead, drop your comment. And yes, just in case you have questions, this video will be on, and I will come to every one of you and ask your questions. And yes, if you are here and you're a direct student of mine, go to the group, drop your question. I'll be attending to them in our academy. And if you're not one of us, when you're done with this video, you can go to the comment section below, or you go to the description of this video and you will see a link that can take you to how to become one of our Copy to Cash Academy students. Do you understand? Yes. So remember, as it is, to always chase knowledge first. If you have a question, drop it. I'm giving 3 minutes for that. All right. So go ahead, drop your questions if you're listening to me. 3 minutes for that, and we're off from this place. If you are having a question, drop it right away, and we are off from this place. Yes. But before the 3 minutes, oh, already 2 minutes. Remember, what we did today was the most important thing to consider in a copy. And the first one says, you need to answer the question of what problem your copy is solving. And when you're done with that, you need to research and be sure that if you put this copy up, it is really going to solve this problem. Number 3 is to be sure that you have a very catchy headline. It must be attention-grabbing headline. Number 4 is that your body, the body of your copy, or in other words, content of your copy, must be interesting. And how that is done is for you to be able to know that you are going to tell stories. So the only thing that will make people become interested in the body, in the content, is to tell stories. So when you use stories and you're making people to understand you, they are going to understand you because stories are relatable. And when it comes to your headline, it must be catchy and relatable, yet attention grabbing. Catchy and relatable. People must be able to say, oh, he's talking to me. Do you understand? Oh, she's talking to me. That is how relatable it should be. And then when you're able, once you get the headline, you get the body, don't forget to call to action because it's very important. Do not forget your assignment, which is sell a bottle of water using a copy to a man who lives in a land where there is cold. Sell a bottle of cold water to a man who lives in a land where there is cold. This assignment should be submitted on or before Wednesday next week. And that's because I want to bring a review about it on our next mentorship section. We have 1 minute and few seconds. We have less than 1 minute to go. So thank you very much. And just like I say to you all before, and now I'll say again, chase knowledge first. Keep doing what you're doing. Make sure you're working on something, and just the best will happen to you. Thank you for attending this mentorship program. It was an amazing time with every one of you. Thank you for your comments. I see every one of you, and it is, yes, amazing. And that is how we come to the end of today's session. Thank you very much. Since I didn't get any question, I'll be ending this live. Remember, chase knowledge first. Good night. Have a wonderful night rest and see you all.